Taurus. How you doing? Whew. I'm doing, well, I just did Aries, which was a long, very sort of, there's a bit of, on the feminine side, there's a bit of turmoil. So it was kind of a long, confusing situation. So if you have any Aries in your chart, you're dealing with an Aries, right? Or you're just interested in maybe what an emperor is going through right now, you can peek over there. Either way, let's clear that energy. King of Wands is trying to pop out. So yeah, you could be dealing with a fire sign. And I may pause this because I'm making some food, Taurus. What are you guys making for food today? What's your favorite meal? Ooh. Let's talk about it. What's your favorite meal? I just washed my hands, so they're still moist, and they're moist. It's all gray and drizzly and whatever outside. Temperance and the Three of Swords. What's going on with Taurus? What's going on with Taurus for this new year? Let's get the focus back to Taurus. I mean, food is still has something to do with Taurus, but you know. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about sex, baby. Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Who broke your heart? Who broke your heart? It's usually us that breaks our own damn heart, right? Our expectations, our false implications, our conditional love that we give to others, right? Because if we give love to others that are emotionally unavailable, we're actually giving conditional love. So we're always shocked, like I gave so much love to them, I overgave to them, and I was so emotionally available. You really weren't, because otherwise you wouldn't have given energy to it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You give energy to someone who you instinctively and intuitively know is not available, so that you'll be disappointed, so you'll be heartbroken. You can go, oh, I knew that wasn't going to work out. And why do we do that? It seems ridiculous, but the reason we do that is because of low self-worth, right? There's some fundamental belief system that's lingering that tells us we're not enough for the love we desire. Let's look at the feminine, because we've got the heart chakra stuff. All right, King of Wands, Strength, the Chariot. Well, goddamn. So you could be dealing with a Leo. We got Strength here, the King of Wands. King of Wands is looking at the Chariot. Also, the Chariot, Cancer. You could be dealing with the Cancer. Maybe they have these placements. They could have Leo and Cancer placements. They could be a fire sign with King of Wands. King of Wands is someone who goes after what they want, though. So they're not someone who messes around. And the King of Wands is looking at the Chariot, meaning this person follows their heart. They follow their gut. They just know when they know, and they are not, they're not messing around. You could have these placements, right? I'm reading for the feminine. I'm getting these masculine signs, right? So you could also be in your King of Wands energy as the feminine. And if so, this Chariot, you're following your heart, right? But why are they so guarded? Ooh, King of Wands to clarify the King of Wands. I said what I said. King of Cups with Strength. So again, I feel like whoever you're dealing with, Taurus, this the masculine is very much in your energy. Like they might be consuming your thoughts or your mind. Maybe your heart was broken by something, but I don't get toxicity here. You know, we've got strong characters here. But this is someone who, you know, the Chariot is Cancer. It's the heart, right? Strength and Chariot are both, which is funny, because these are the these are like the, like more the masculine 3D tangible representations of the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the home of the sun and the moon, right? So it is still Leo and Cancer, but those are the more celestial bodies, which means that that's more of the feminine. It's of the 5D. It's the ethereal, the celestial, the cosmic versions. But this is like strength. This is like doing the work in the physical. This is moving forward and making sure that you are protected in your heart space. Now you could be guarded, but their face mask is up, so they are looking. So I feel like they're still moving forward, but there's a guarded tendency here. So maybe the feminine or the masculine, right? But these are the feminine cards here, pulled for the feminine side of a divine union, or the divine dynamic, we'll call it. And now we all have masculine and feminine within us. We know this, so it could be you. This could be your feminine aspect and your masculine aspect, right? We all have that passive and aggressive, right? Or passive and active, not aggressive, not passive aggressive. Maybe you've dealt with someone who is passive aggressive, which is a lie. It's not direct. Passive is not letting people necessarily, maybe you did let people walk all over you, but the Empress, passivity is important because it's how we allow things to come in, we receive, right? So think of it like physical therapy, right? There is active and passive stretching, right? Active is where you're doing it yourself, you're activating the muscles to like the fullest of their extent to do whatever the motion is. Passive stretching is where somebody else is helping you do it, right? But you're still getting the functionality, you're still getting the mobility, you're still getting the, it's just, there's like when you're doing pull-ups and you put the resistance bar underneath you, right? It's like, it's a little bit of help. So you could be, as the feminine, reluctant to receive help. Maybe because the last time that you received help, it was under the pretense that you give, and they'll give back, and you gave, and they took, right? It's starting to pour. It was very cool. Anyway, with the 8 of Cups, when it rains, it pours. And maybe that's where you're like afraid of cups. There could be a fear with cups, but the 8 of Cups, to clarify the Chariot, is it's moving in a new direction. It's either back is turned. You left something that was, when it rains, it pours, right? Rain is like in the romantic movies. It's very soothing. It's very cleansing. But it's like whenever you give to a connection, you give everything. And that's very fixed nature. That's very Taurian, to be all in or all out. Like when it rains, it pours. If you're given a cup, you're given 10 cups, right? But there is something like a need to be protected. And I don't think it could be guarded. We'll look a little bit more, but I think it's more just listening to your heart, right? Because if you review past connections, there was a point where your heart, something was plucking your heartstrings, something was hitting your gut, something was tapping your intuition. It was like maybe you had headaches or dreams or something was tapping into your feminine to tell you this is not where you're going to receive. You can't be passive here because you can't trust this person. This person's going to twist you up into all kinds of fucking knots and stuff. This person is not here for your benefit. They don't want you to get the full stretch. They don't want to help you grow. They don't want to help you build your strength. See how this person's like, they're like twisting them, right? And strength is not a bad card, but in this context, I'm getting that they are like, see how they're like twisting them, they're like opening their mouth, they're like, what more can I get out of you? They're like, I want everything, right? So maybe you dealt with a Leo who was a taker with the strength here. And this King of Wands here, when I was asking who broke your heart and the King of Wands popped out, maybe this person is now looking at the Chariot, and the Chariot's like, bye bitch. 8 of Cups, moving on. And now we've got a King of Wands. So You might have dealt with the King of Wands, right? But they were not an emperor. They were a false king, right? They were just like maybe somebody who was very narcissistic, like you think of kings are born into a kingdom. They don't earn that place. It's just in their bloodline, right? So maybe they came from a very, patriarchal, misogynistic, conditional, egocentric lineage, right? And they just were like, I'm a king. So I'm a king of wands because I'm a king of wands, because I was born into a king of wands, right? Right? Maybe they are one of 3 siblings, right? With the 3 kids here, right? Maybe they had children. Maybe you're with somebody who could be 3 children, could be any amount of children, but there are three here. And a king of wands, which I'm reading this more like a king of wands in the reverse, or as someone who is the shadow aspect. The shadow aspect of king of wands is somebody who is very much about the sexual energy, right? They're about the ego. Wands are the most distinctly masculine sign, so it's all about the 3D. It's all about the physical. It's very superficial. This is so Florida. It's like black, and then there's this bright blue sky with the sun coming out. So maybe you dealt with whatever sign you dealt with, or element that you dealt with before. You're actually going to deal with a true version of that. So you dealt with a false emperor. You dealt with a karmic twin. You felt with a karmic twin. Yeah, your heart was really broken and fucked up from that. Could be a water sign, right? Doesn't have to be fire, but a king of wands, again, is somebody who goes after what they want, what they believe in, and they own their power. Now, someone who's in the shadow aspect of that is going to be very narcissistic, right? There's like a delusion to their power, and there's a misuse of their power. There's an abuse of their power. Could have been emotionally, physically, sexually abusive, right? There was some sort of manipulation, some sort of gaslighting, some sort of neglect of your basic needs, right? Could also be a parent, right? This could be you. You relate to whatever you relate to. You could be one of 3 siblings, and this is maybe a father figure with this king of wands that was very narcissistic. And so that's like the cycle that you were in, that you attracted, and you're like, oh my gosh, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If your parents treat you a certain way, it tells you your worth, it tells you your value. And so everything that you're attracted to, for better or for worse, typically for worse when you're a cycle breaker and a child of chaos, is okay. I've got the for sale sign up in my yard, guys. I was out there a while, so I wasn't sure that this would hold on pause. So I wanted to be like, sorry for making you wait, but you guys weren't waiting. Yes, I'm very excited about that. If any of you have been following along at all, and I've mentioned it, like I'm packing up to move into a van and travel around. That's me. That chariot is me. All right, so let's get back into this Taurus reading and see what's going on. So this King of Wands has the King of Cups. This good guy, all right? We get the bad guy and the good guy. The evil twin and the actual, and I'm getting Emperor. Could be dealing with an Aries, but I feel like there's an Emperor status to this. They could be the same sign or have some sort of similarity that's superficial. It doesn't really matter, but it may be a little bit of a trigger, kind of off-putting, because you're like, oh, I've already dealt with someone named this, or I've already dealt with someone who was this sign, or had blue eyes or brown hair or whatever the hell. But it's superficial. Their core is different. This person had a rotten core. Malicious intention, right? I feel like this person, it looks like the devil, you know? And the Emperor can be Capricorn, it's Aries, or Capricorn is like the sub version. So yeah, you could have been dealing with the devil version and not the divine version. right? Because the Emperor is divine. So it might not have been a Capricorn, but it could have been a Capricorn or a cardinal sign, right? And that could be the thing. Like maybe you dealt with a Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign, but now you're going to be dealing with a Cancer that's a cardinal sign. There could be just a very silly, I don't want to say silly, but just very superficial. It's not who they are, but it might be a little bit off-putting because you're like, oh, you know, it might make you kind of armor up a little bit and just be a little bit more patient and inquisitive, right? Because Chariot is usually like fast and furious, right? It's like coming in and going wherever it's headed. It's like the Chariot usually moves very quickly. It's got a lot of horsepower, right? But this is like a steamroller, right? This thing's kind of slow and steady. So it's very much in your energy, Taurus, of being slow and steady and grounded. It's not charioting all over the place like in Gladiator. It's not like with the little spikes on the side, like gonna chop your fucking head off. This is someone who is patient and kind and follows their heart. And when someone's tapped into their heart and their truth, they can tap into yours, right? Because we're all connected at the heart chakra. That's how the collective is connected. Oh, man. Oh, I'm so excited. I did not think it was going to happen, selling this house, because of the towers, the delays. I was like, oh, it's just, I guess I'm just here for now. And then it all just came together at once. So now this person, so the Chariot, I feel like the Chariot is you, and this Eight of Cups would be you as well. And this King of Wands is, both Kings of Wands are looking at this Chariot and this Eight of Cups. So it's like, in both of them, you're facing you're facing your back towards one king. So somebody's watching you leave and somebody's watching you arrive, right? So they could have been watching you for a long time, and maybe you were just kind of like, oh, this isn't going to happen. You might have doubted whether or not your trust issues were going to be a problem or something, but they're not really trust issues. If they're experience-based, right? It's just, it makes you a more observant person. And usually the people that tell you that you have trust issues, or, you know, you're jealous, or that you're this or that, those are the people who are doing something wrong, and they don't like the fact that you are aware and cautious and take your own time. So that's going to be an indicator if you're questioning, like, is this my person? Take your time. Take your time, right? Do what's right for you, because a narcissistic person is not going to want you to do that, right? They're going to want you to be on their time. They're going to rush you. They're going to, antagonize you, that you're moving too slowly. You're doing this wrong. You're this or that. I mean, obviously anyone who's talking to you like that is not your person, because that's an asshole. But the King of Wands here is someone who is, they're watching you take your time, and they're okay just kind of letting you live your life, letting you do your process and take the scenic route. It's like they know that you're gonna come towards them, or that you guys will be face to face, that you guys will be side by side. You guys will be you're heading on the same path, right? So there's a trust here. And this person, see, I get this like devil, and they're like the little goblins, like the little flying monkeys, the little hobgoblins. So this person, probably, which narcissists always have, minions, right? So there are other people like relaying information back to this King of Wands. And this person doesn't need that, because they have their eyes open and because they follow their heart. So they know their truth. So they trust in the truths of others. Whereas this person doesn't know their truth. They're a liar. They're deceptive. They're self-deceptive. They're a vacuous, vampiric vessel. V for vendetta. A vacuous victim. But this King of Wands is here with the King of Cups and strength, right? This King of Cups, ooh, this is specific, but the King of Cups, this is very specific, but maybe they were a fighter, right? Maybe they were some sort of, they were very fit, they were a fighter, could be like MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? I get like grappling here because this blue King of Cups, to clarify this strength, it's like this King of Cups. Maybe the person you were with, you thought like, oh, there might have been a fear that they are going to see the next person, or that they're watching you, or maybe they stalked you or something, or they were like messaging you constantly. It was really hard to get out of their energy because this Eight of Cups is someone who, see, they're protecting themselves as they move away. But look how they've got their walking stick. Like, there's injuries there. Again, there could have been physical abuse, but I feel like it was, even if it's emotional abuse with that Three of Swords in the heart, there was a fear. There was a fear that like doubled you over, that kept you in this posture of, I'm afraid to move on. Like, I'm moving on, but there is a fear that like I'll never be able to find love again. I'll never be able to, because of all the damage that this ex person caused. And so, but I feel like, I don't know that this person is going to literally fight your ex or whatever, but see how there's like this like alligator gar or whatever this prehistoric creature is, right? Which is like those you know, like we came from the water, and this King of Cups is like of the water. So this is like humans before we evolved into beings, human beings. We were, you know, underwater, probably like bottom dwellers or whatever, you know. And it's like this person is a false king, a false emperor of the sea. So it could have been a water sign, right? Like, we have King of Wands here. That could be the sexual energy, and in the shadow aspect, and then in the, which narcissists use sexual power to their advantage, because it's like the only thing that they learn how to do right, because it only takes one time and they've locked you in, or you know, they get you pregnant, or you know, they want to get married very fast, right? It's a very quick timeline. It's like a rushed thing because they can't uphold, they're not standing upright. Like they're not a human being. They're a demon, right? And you may have actually thought or felt that, said it out loud, that your person was like a demon. There might have been like, it might have felt like a demonic possession, which it does feel like when you are in a narcissistic connection. Oh, I've got people slow rolling by my house, by my house. But I feel like this blue, this King of Cups, and I almost said King of Wands because I feel like this is the same person here, is going to like kick this person's ass. I don't know if it's going to be literal. I don't know if it's going to be physical. But I think just energetically, this person is like, and maybe you were like, oh my gosh, my person, maybe they were dangerous, right? Maybe they got in a lot of fights, or they were very dangerous, and you thought, you were afraid that they were going to see you with somebody new. But I feel like this your person, your emperor, your divine counterpart, is actually like going to be able to whoop their ass. Whether they do or not, which an emperor doesn't have to. They just kind of stand in their power of fuck around and find out, you know? So I don't think that your past person's going to have the guts to fuck around or find out. Right. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, this is like, she's kind of like sitting over here pretty, like, yeah. Like, I feel so safe now. This person feels very safe. And see over here, so we have the Nine of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is the head, it's thoughts, it's words, it's anxiety, it's poor belief systems, right? It's this little demon on your shoulder. It's this dead cat. It's like, this is like toxicity. Schrodinger's cat in the box. It's like, it's in there with radioactive material. It may not be dead now, but it's like, you might have felt like the Walking Dead, right? Like you were just in a zombie phase, poor sleep. This person possessed your mind. They possessed your dreams. And you've shifted that. You were out of your energy. You were in Swords. Could have dealt with an air sign, right? But this is like anxiety, fear, poor belief systems, right? Because your thoughts and your words become your beliefs. So if you're thinking, I'm not worthy, if you're saying, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever, they've told you you were, they've gaslit you into believing about yourself, you're going to believe it. And it becomes part of your core. Like it's, see how their core is bloated? Their core is, I mean, you could have like put on weight, got into drinking, maybe like you were, but you were just like depressed, lethargic. This always reminds me of the little demon in the show Evil, where it burrows into the side of the person and then they're like a zombie. They're lethargic, they're always sleeping. And it does that to a priest, which the Hierophant, the high priest, is Taurus. And so I feel like you had something in your gut. And it could be the fact that you didn't follow your gut. And when you look back, you go, oh, I knew this person. They said this, they did this, they revealed this red flag, this obvious, what should have been a deal breaker. But you had to go through that in order to realize, to get self-realized about your value and your worth. And so this is dwelling on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. This is like, I knew it. Hindsight's always 20/20. And that's fine. Use it as your foresight, right? Your foresight was off. Your insight, your internal sight, your divine sight, your intuition, your gut was off. You trusted somebody who was untrustworthy. But that's because you go with what you know. It felt familiar to you. And so you needed to get really, it had to get really bad for you to, that tower, that was like a very heavy tower. And you've had to, I feel like you've rebuilt this place of peace and serenity and calm and abundance. And you've really just built yourself up. And so with that Chariot, like moving slow, maybe it was just like, every day felt like an eternity. It was like one day at a time. It felt like you were moving in slow motion to pursue something new, to leave that behind. But I feel like right now, there's like all this momentum now. And now you're like, you've got the abundance, but you're not in a hurry to get anywhere. I'm in a hurry to get things done. Rushing till life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live. Yeah, so that song, you're not doing that. You're not rushing. Yeah, 10 of Cups. You're very secure. This is Empress energy here. This is very secure in who you are, what you're doing, and the fact that you had to go through that. I think that you've realized, I have to go through that. I had to go through that to cut that cord in order to, you know, I thought this person was so strong, maybe because they were like, maybe they were like a bodybuilder, you know, again, something superficial about them seemed like, oh, they've got it together, but their character, their cup was empty. This person's cup is full. It's overflowing. And now they're like waterboarding this full. King of Cups again. Yeah, the King of Cups is, so, and you know where you are, Taurus. If you're in this place where you're like, yeah, I'm having sleepless nights, I'm feeling strange, just one day at a time, keep going. Keep going. You guys are determined. You're the bull. You can do this. Just keep the faith. that this is what's coming. You got the King of Cups twice, you've got the Nine of Pentacles, you've got this abundance, this independence, and this very loving, nurturing, very emotionally available, transparent. This person's not going to play any fucking games with you. They're not going to mess with your emotions. They know their truth. They've filled their cup. They've done the work to fill their cup, so they are okay with you taking however long it takes you. So there's no rush until life's no fun. They have faith that you're their person and that they see you, right? It's very, with all these blue people, it's like a Avatar, Zahelu. This person is so connected with you because you've been connected through lifetimes together. This person knows you inside and out. There's an immediate recognition, and they just know your value. And so they're willing to wait until you learn your value, right? Because they can't tell you your value. Nobody else can tell you. They can, if you have trouble receiving compliments, this person knows better than to try and tell you that you're awesome, tell you that you're beautiful, tell you that you're this right here. You have to realize this yourself. So if you've already realized this, if you're like, yeah, that was my past, just know, you're in the place to receive this 10 of Cups. And so we have the Three of Swords. Again, there's that Three of Swords that was popping out in the beginning. This is the whole topic here. Your swords that this person put inside your heart, but really, now, I broke my own damn heart. But you had to break your heart open because your heart was already broken from childhood. And it's like a bone that's never healed right. You have to re-break it. That's what we do with cycles. We have to re-break the cycle so we can heal it, so it can heal properly. So when we break a cycle, we're actually healing the cycle. We're cycle healers, okay? And that's what you had to do, because whatever your parents, your guardians, your primary caregivers told you about yourself, whatever these false belief systems were that they instilled into your heart, they believed about themselves, right? It's all a projection of their own lack of self-worth. So you had to go through this. You were the one who was divinely protected enough, divinely guided enough, divinely equipped enough to do this work for your lineage, for your ancestors, and for those that follow, right? If you had children with this person, right? Maybe you have children. If you do, or when you do, you want to make sure that they don't inherit any of this that you inherited. You are the one with enough strength to heal this monster, this unevolved version of humanity, this parasite. You're willing to just rip it out of there. And it's been very hard work. And if you're going through it, it is very hard work. And it doesn't stop being hard work, right? Because the closer you get to God, the closer the devil gets to you. You're a greater threat the more powerful you get. It just gets, it's not easy, but it just gets more simple. Your discernment, your intuition, you just follow it more consistently and quicker, right? You're quicker to trust your intuition. So it's less and less time. It's like grief never goes away. Pain never goes away. The frequency and the severity might come down a little bit. But you'll always, if you think about this, it may hurt your feelings. You may still cry about it. You may still be dealing with problems from this, or, and that doesn't mean that you're not healed, right? It's even when a bone heals properly, there's still scar tissue around an injury. There's still, when the weather changes, it's all misty and it's been changing consistently. It's like a dark gray cloud and then blue sky. That's so Florida. But it is like this dark gray cloud and then this blue sky, this King of Cups, this masculine is coming in. Could be same sex, but I feel like it's the healing. This person is not going to heal. They're not going to do the work for you, but I feel like they're going to be like a verification or a confirmation, a divine confirmation that all of this like you have suspicions, like, yeah, I did all this, I went through all this for a reason, and yeah, I get that it's part of my path and all of that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy to get out of bed every day, that it's easy to maintain this peace. Peace is the greatest threat to a child of chaos. So to maintain this space could be very challenging. It is challenging. It's hard work, right? Shadow work. It's called work for a reason. It's like Samantha in Sex and the City. Honey, they don't call it a blowjob for nothing. Yeah, I don't know. She's not like a Jewish stage performer. I got a little Barbra Streisand there. But she's got the I don't know why it's like blowjob, but yeah, it's called shadow work for a reason. Like the definition's in the name, it's in the title, the answer's in the question, right? It's like right there. You like, if you have to break a cycle, that's gonna take strength to break that cycle. It's not gonna it's been going on for a long time. It's been snowballing. It's been corroding, because I get this like, there could be something with like a piece of jewelry or a ring or something that's been handed down. Not specific, but there could be like corrosion or oxidization or something. There's like right, like when it gets built up over time, it's harder to break that. Because it's like the lies have just built up, and they've built this they've fortified this beautiful natural metal. And Taurus, we love the natural earthy elements. We love the metals and wood and earth. We like that earth. We like that wood. But we have the King of Pentacles here. So King of Wands, King of Cups twice, Kings of Wands twice, King of Cups twice. I feel this is your past and your divine person, your karmic and your divine person. Again, could be same sex, but we have the King of Pentacles here, which is Taurus. This is you coming into your energy. But we have this feminine, this like strong feminine here. So you could be dealing with a water sign or a fire sign, right? And this person, if they're watching you, they might go, oh, well, they're in their 8 of Cups. So I need to, and they want the 10 of Cups. They're headed towards the 10 of Cups. The difference between the two is the 2 of Cups. So I need to come to them with 2 cups. I need to meet them here, right? And the feminine could be in their masculine energy as well, because they're kind of guarded towards, or it is guarded. It is guarded, but it's not guarded in a sense that's like, should be off-putting to the masculine, right? Because if somebody's guarded, or they're not blocked. Guarded is, I'm looking, it's the Queen of Swords. It's discerning. It's having one hand open and having the sword ready to cut out whatever doesn't serve you. So you could be in your Queen of Swords energy, which is a masculine forefront of, it's the first line of defense for the Empress. And so you could be, they're like, okay, well, I got to come in as the King of Cups, or they could be a water sign, fire sign that comes in with the King of Cups. And they're going to meet you here, right? And they could, they could be any sign. They're the Emperor, so they have all of the kings here. We've got we're only missing the King of Swords. But I feel like they know, like if they come in as the King of Swords and you're in the Queen of Swords, then you guys are just going to be there's going to be very cold. It's like they have to come in with the cups, and they have to meet you where you are. They have to come in your energy, right? If you're here and you're like, I'm doing fine by myself, then they have to come in with something really solid, and that's that slow and steady. It may not win the race like the charioteer that goes really fast, but it will last the marathon, right? This is like solar powered. So again, could be a Leo, but this person is solar powered, is their sun, their heart chakra. They're following their heart, which is the Chariot. Yeah, Knight of Wands, 5 of Cups. Oh, boo-hoo, your past person's going to be really heartbroken about this. Do they even have a fucking heart? We don't care about that. Like, yeah, you can send them love and light and empathy and compassion, but you don't have to send them your energy. You don't have to forgive them, because the likelihood of them asking for forgiveness is, not likely. Page of Cups, yeah. And again, they always come back, especially because they can feel your energy is growing. And the word that I've been getting all day is growth for the readings, is it's growth. And so they can see your glow up, they can see your growth, they can see you here, and they're like, oh, you got more energy to give me? Maybe come back here. And see how they're kind of like, Gucci, Gucci, goo, right? Tickling is a form of torture, right? And this fish here is like the angler fish. They use the light to lure in their prey, right? So they might come in and be like, tell you some bullshit, like, oh, I've changed, I've done this, or, oh, what are you up to? And you're like, oh, I feel like you might just be like, I'm not fucking even responding. I mean, how do they even have my number or a way to contact me? It could be a new account, or you might see them in person or something, and you might just be like, give them the breadcrumbs that they gave you as far as information goes. They don't need to know your life or your business. But if you say like, oh, I started a new job, or oh, this is happening, they might be like, oh my God, me too. You know, that's this person is like, Gucci, Gucci, goo, right? Tickling is a form of torture. Don't let them angle you into their bullshit. We got the Tower here. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. We got the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So somebody is following their heart, which was a lot of work. It was very exhausting. But now it's like, you're just working away at your own stuff here. You're just working away at your own process. And the very rare occasion, because this is a twin flame connection, this could be the same person, right? And you may follow your intuition. I don't condone past connections because I feel like they're in the past. Rafiki, it's in the past, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to hit you over the head with my big ass wand, my big ass staff here, and be like, remember, it's in the past. Don't do it. I also get like Amber, maybe the name Amber, but see the Amber on his staff, like John, the name John. From Jurassic Park, it's a mosquito in there, right? They've got a parasite, a vector, a vampire, a bloodsucker. They're using black magic. I don't trust this person. So anytime that you have a new connection come in, you have an old connection that tests you. The devil tests, the divine does not. It feels like the divine is testing us, or God is testing us, the universe is testing us. It's really not. I mean, the universe and God encompass the devil and the shadows. So it is part of that, but the divine is simple and straightforward. It's direct. It doesn't lie. The truth is, there's one truth, right? There's no half truths, right? The truth is relative to individual people about how they go about it, but the one truth that connects us all is spherical. It's growth. I was going to say linear because it's linear, but time is non-linear and the path is non-linear. So I don't want to like give the wrong imagery here, but it's very direct, right? It's going to be straightforward. There's no manipulation or like, but the devil is constantly the one that's like, hey, come over here. Hey, try this. Trying to lure you. They're like the little fox, like popping out their little head on your path, like, hey, or these little hobgoblins. Like, this is like Anastasia, the cartoon, those little goblins that like fuck up the train, right? The track wasn't the problem. The train wasn't the problem. The divine wasn't involved here. It was this sorcerer, this black magic, malicious, vampiric fucker. 44 on the clock. Yeah, I feel like when this person comes in, you're going to be like, yeah. And you're just going to keep working on your stuff. Keep doing your business. Yeah, and see, you go from this Eight of Swords, too many mind. The Last Samurai, too many mind. This is too much in the head. This is you resting. Look how peaceful this person is resting. Their thoughts are balanced. Their beliefs are balanced. Their words are balanced. I feel like you're going to say you're only going to say what you need to say, right? You're only going to say what you need to say, which might be bye. Like it might just be one, like very monosyllabic responses to this person, which is what you have to give to a narcissist. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you're getting a solid offer, and you're going to have this person on their little, leave it. You're going to get offers, but you're going to know which one is a pentacle because it's going to be in your energy. You're going to know what feels like home and what feels familiar. And there is a difference between the two, right? Familiar is you've already been there, done that. You were raised in that. You know what that chaos looks like. That is toxic as fuck. And like you become the narcissist. You understand how they work, and you know that doesn't work for you, right? But this offer from this King of Pentacles, King of Cups, King of Wands, which is a pre-emperor, right? And with that Nine of Pentacles, I get like there's pre-empress. And so maybe there's all this like mirroring with the signs because you two coming together, because the King of Cups came out on that Nine of Swords, right? Nine of Swords. So it's like they're not going to heal it for you, but I think that they are going to be that confirmation. You two might be the confirmation for each other that, oh, I waited for this person. I did all this work for this person, right? You do it for yourself, but you don't attract your divine counterpart unless you do the work for yourself and you get on that frequency. But I think that you've always believed in love and believed in the romantic idea. It might be a Pisces that you're dealing with, because they have that dreamy, idealistic, romanticized, seemingly unrealistic reality, right? And so that's maybe they were like, no, I believe my person's out there. I feel like the masculine's been out there. Like, no, I believe that they're out there. So whether they've been actually watching you on this path, like if you know this person or not, they've been feeling you, right? Because they're very tapped into their ethereal, into their cups. They're really tapped into the feminine, right? And the masculine could be the feminine could be the masculine, right? But I think that you guys coming together is going to allow you to come into your true emperor and empress, like to where you can just release some of the responsibilities of being alone. Like navigating this terrestrial plane alone is very challenging, because we're all masculine and feminine, but we have different ratios, and in order to be in our divine masculine or divine feminine, our ratios have to shift. And so it's really hard to be to attract your divine counterpart and to maintain that frequency of being on your 5D and your feminine when you got to go to work, you got to pay bills, you got to do the work stuff. And then it's really difficult for you to be the divine feminine when you have to also pay your bills and do your work and do that stuff, right? That's why there's that balance of you two coming together, so you're 100, right? We're all same ingredients, different recipes. So it's like right now you might be more in your masculine or more in your feminine than your divine placement calls for, right? If you're the divine masculine, you might be more in your divine feminine because you have your pentacle world, you have your physical masculine world with the wands on lock, right? You've got that under control. And so now you're putting a lot of energy into what do I actually want? And maybe you've tapped back into your dream world of saying, this is what I want. I want my person. I want my divine feminine. And so you've had to get onto that frequency so you can find them in the crowd, right? So you can attract, like attracts like. And the feminine could also be like, well, maybe my person's not coming in, and if they are, I haven't seen them yet, so I gotta just like keep doing me, right? And That's the thing about pentacles. We are fixed earth, Taurus, which means that we are double earth. Pentacles are the only element that represent, they are a feminine element. Earth is feminine. It's the most distinct feminine element. But pentacles represent the 3D, which is masculine. So and that's why we're the Hierophant, right? Because we are the translators, the medium between the 5D and the 3D, between the unseen and the seen. We are the translators, the leaders, the spiritual leaders and gurus, the teachers, the high priest, right? And so, therefore, we are constantly under attack. And if you are dealing with a Pisces, then yeah, they are also the high priest, right? High priest and high priestess. They work together with the, so yeah, there's some energetic masculine and feminine roles that we're energy that we have to maintain, and ratios that we have to maintain that are not necessarily in tune with our truth. And it's not that we're telling a lie, it's that we have to kind of adjust to our circumstances and to the reality of being a celestial being in a terrestrial plane. You know, and that's the challenge there. And so I feel like you guys coming together is going to be the ultimate confirmation that everything before you was leading to this. So that's cool. I hope there was something in here for you. I'm gonna go eat because I got some pho. Waiting. Some rice noodles with all kinds of veggies, and I'm pretty excited about it because it's one of my favorite meals. It's between that and a pressed sub, because I love that with some sweet potato fries. Those are like my favorite meals. Those are my like death row meals, and maybe like a gallon of mint chocolate chip ice cream. So if you want to share those, you can share your favorite meal. But hopefully something was in here that resonated, that gives you a little bit of hope or whatever you needed from it. But one day at a time, Taurus. It's coming. It's coming. And when it comes, it's good. It's all good, baby. So until next time, I wish you well.